Right, so the first thing we need to do is install Next.js. So what I'm going to do is just open my terminal up, and in here, let me just zoom in, and I want to go to my YouTube folder, so cd YouTube, and in here, I want to create the Next.js 15 crash course. So let me just clear everything out, and then I'm going to install Next.js, the latest one. So it's npx create next app at latest, and then whatever your project is. In this case, it's going to be Next.js 15 cc, so crash course. Press enter, and then we'll go through our steps as we normally do with the installation. So we want to proceed, and actually what we want to do beforehand, we want to check the node version, because certain node versions are not compatible. So we're on node version 14, so we need to change that to node 22. That's the latest one, and then we can install our Next.js 15 app, and we want to proceed with this. And then we will be using TypeScript. We don't want to use ESLint, and we do want to use Tailwind. We don't want to use the source directory, but you can do if you want, and we will use the app router, and we also want TurboPack enabled. So would you like to customize the import alias? It's app by default, so that's fine. We can keep it as that. So now everything will get installed. And then what we want to do is, if we look whilst that's getting installed, we have a header component, so we can create that one first, but we can look at the file directory itself when it installs everything that we need. So now that's installed, all we need to do is cd into the Next.js 15 crash course over here, and then we can do code space dot, and then that will open up our VS Code terminal. So now what we want to do is open up a terminal inside our VS Code, and in here what we want to do is we want to again check an NVM version, so we'll use node 22. Now let's go through the actual files itself. So we have a tsconfig, which is fine, it's all set up for us the way we need to. We have the post css config.m, which is for our Tailwind styles, package.json, which has all the relevant things we need in there. So we're on React 19 now, because we can use the server components and also the latest version of Next. So in our Next config, we just have our normal Next config in here, but we will be looking at expanding this further. And then we have a public folder with all our files, but the main thing we need to look at is the app router. So in the app router, we have three main files. So we have global CSS, which handles all our CSS. So in our case, we're importing Tailwind in, which is done for us when we install Next.js. We have our layout, which is the overall layout of the app. So let's just go into this. We have declared some fonts in here. We also have metadata. So what we want to do is, instead of create next app, we want to change this to travel or Next.js 15 travel app or something like that, whatever you want to call it. And then in description, we can put in a description, a travel app built with Next.js 15. That's fine. Then we have our higher order. This is basically our higher order component that wraps the HTML and body tags around our app. So everything inside here is in the page. So in page.tsx, we have our boilerplate in here. But what I'm going to do is just delete this and just put in a div saying travel app. So now what I want to do is just save this. And then what we can do now is just run this locally. So npm run dev, and this will basically run everything for us, get our local host started. So we're working on 3001. In here, we have our travel app rendering. So eventually we want to get to this stage where we've built our travel explorer over here. So what we're going to be doing now is doing the first page, which is the home page, and adding in the header component to all of the pages that we create. And we will do that one